Hello there. Welcome then to grade 11 accounting. In this video, we want to look at the preparation of the creditors reconciliation. So the question that we have here is question 1.3 that we want to look at. So our question reads, a statement of account received from Golden Globe Traders on 21st September 2020 reflects that Amy Stores owes them 26,228 rand. The creditors ledger in the books of Amy Stores reflects an outstanding balance of 28,656 rand. So you are given the balances in terms of the statement of account from the creditor, and also you are given the balance, which is our opening balance for the creditors ledger. So these are the two balances that we are given. So on the required part, 1.3.1, it reads, use the table provided in your answer book to indicate the changes to the first, you have to effect the changes to creditors ledger in the books of Amy Stores. And then we have the creditors reconciliation statement on 30 September 2020. Indicate an increase or decrease with a plus or minus respectively where applicable. So the question has got 9 marks. So we are going to have our two documents there in terms of the creditors ledger in the books of Amy Stores. So Amy Stores is the owner of the business, and then the other, which is one, the Golden Globe Traders becomes the supplier, or becomes the creditor. So this is what we have. Then we go to the information given in the question. So we've got information A here, which is a creditors ledger of Amy Stores. So the ledger in the books of Amy Stores is the one that is indicated here, and it shows the transactions that are taking place between Amy Stores and Golden Globe Traders. So and remember, Golden Globe Traders is a creditor. So when we purchase goods when we purchase goods as Amy Stores from Golden Globe Traders, we are going to credit them. So we are going to have such a scenario. So we are going to see that the transactions that are on the credit side are representing credit purchases, and then these transactions, we see them on the debit side of the bank, on the debit side of the creditors statement. So this is our creditor statement that we are having. Statement of account received from Golden Globe Traders. Then we are given a Golden Globe Traders statement of account. So we are saying what is appearing on the credit side of the ledger indicates our credit purchases, and also they should appear on the debit side of the statement of account. So the opposite is true by saying what is on the credit side of the statement of account should be on the debit side of the ledger. So these balances at the end of the period should be the same. So we are seeing that we have got a balance of 26,228 as a closing balance that we are having here in the statement of account. But if you go to the ledger, you see that the balance that you are given there as the closing balance is 28,756. So you see that these two balances are different. So when we have such a scenario, that's when there's a need to prepare a reconciliation, whereby we are trying to reconcile the two balances so that they become the same. Because what we are saying is what should appear in the statement account should also appear in the ledger account. So when the balance are different now, there's a need for us to prepare a reconciliation so that we correct the errors and omissions that are there. So if you go to information C now, that's where we have got the additional information, and it reads the following errors and omissions were noted. So errors and omissions are the reasons why these two balances won't balance. So when we have such a scenario, we have to prepare a reconciliation basing on the errors and omissions that are listed here. So we're going to go through each and every error and omission and adjust in the answer section accordingly. So you'll see that additional information in terms of errors and omissions is ranging from 1 going down to 7. So we are going to make those adjustments. So if you go to the other section, you'll see that we are given the creditors reconciliation, which is a credit reconciliation for Golden Globe Traders as our supplier. And then we are given a column for creditors ledger of Amy Stores. So this is the ledger, and this is statement of account of Golden Globe Traders. So you see that these two totals are different. So that's why we are preparing this reconciliation, so that these two totals at the end becomes the same. So we go to the first error and try to see what do we have. so that we can be able to correct. So if you come here, you would see that our first error is here, which is information 1, which says invoice 223 on 3 September 2020 was correct according to the statement received from our Golden Globe trader. So we go to invoice 223 on the statement, and it's being said it's correct. So this is invoice 223 here, and it costs 5,660, which means it's correct on the statement of account. But if you go to the ledger, they're saying it's wrong. So if you go to the ledger, you'll see that invoice 223, it's here, it's entered as 5,404. So you see that this figure that we have is different from that one that we have in the statement of account, which is correct. So we can try to see, we are seeing that this is a smaller figure that we are having in the ledger. So it means we have to add the difference so that it goes back to the correct amount, which is 5,660. So basically we are saying 5,660 minus 5,404. So we calculate as such, you are going to get your answer as 256. So it means on the since you are saying on the statement it's concerned is correct, which is a bigger figure, we go to the ledger and come here and say the figure that is here is smaller with 256. So we have to put another figure here so that it goes to 5,706. So remember on the so it means that this is a plus that is going to come here. We're going to have a plus here, a plus 256, so that it goes to 5,606. So so we are saying the figure that we are having there is 5,404. We are supposed to add another 256. So we are entering on the credit side. That is the issue. The entry is going to the credit side. But what we have to take note there is that when we correct by entering on the credit side on the in the ledger, it's going to be a plus. But when we enter to the debit, it's going to be a negative. And also the same applies now. The opposite is true now when you go to the statement of account. Let's just try to be there so that we can just make it clear here. So what we are saying is when you come to the statement, when you enter now on the debit, that's where we're going to have a plus. When you enter the credit, it's going to be a negative. It becomes opposite. So in this case, we are in the ledger, and our correction is on the credit side. So and we are adding to the figure that is on the credit side. So obviously it's going to go to as a plus under our error 1. Remember, this is our error 1, which we are looking at. But what is important is that this error is being emphasized that on the statement received from Golden, it was correct. It was correct according to the statement received. So the statement is not going to be affected. So there is a zero effect on the statement, but the effect that we are going to have is on in the ledger. So if you come here, you would see that the ledger, we are saying it's a plus 256. But here we have no effect. So we can just maybe put a 0. Then I will go to the next error, which is our error number 2. So if you come to error number 2, it reads Golden Globe Traders made an error in recording the return of goods on 5 September 2020. So we are seeing that this error is on Golden Globe Traders, which means the statement of Golden Globe Traders is the one that is a mistake. So we go to statement there and see what is happening on 5 September in terms of goods returned. So we go to the statement, we see that on 5 September, it's a year. We are seeing there's a credit note, which is indicating a returns. So remember, when we purchase goods from Golden Globe, they are supposed to debit it. When they are returns, they're supposed to come to the credit side. So in this case, we are having returns on the debit. So it's a mistake that has to be corrected. So we have to go to the credit to remove this 309 by putting 309 on the credit. And then it comes back to 0 because it's now 309 minus 309, 309 minus 309. Then we enter the correct figure now, which is supposed to be on the credit side. So we're going to enter 309 twice. And basically, we are saying 309 plus 309 on the credit. That's what we have. And then we are going to have a total of 618. So we are going to put 618 on the credit. But remember, the analysis that is here, that we are saying when we're entering on the credit, it should indicate it as a negative now in the reconciliation. So we are taking it as a negative, negative 618. So that's how we are going to correct it. But if you look at it again, you would see that the ledger is correct. Because if you go to the ledger and try to see about this figure for 309, let's just try to see. You would see that it's on the correct side, which is the debit side. Remember, when we purchase goods on credit, it comes on the credit side, and when they are returned, they come on the debit. So it means our ledger is correct. So there's no effect on our ledger, but we just make the correction in the statement of accounts. So we are here in the other section. So we are saying the ledger does not have an effect, but we are having an effect on our statement of accounts. So we are going to say negative 618. That's what we are having there. Then we go to number 3. Number 3 reads any stores qualified for an early settlement discount with the payment of September 2020. Golden Globe Traders granted 1,766 as discount. They promised to show this on their next statement. So it seems the error that we are having here of 1,766 is a discount which was effected in the ledger. But Golden Globe Traders is saying we'll correct this error on the next statement, which means on the recent statement it's not indicating. So if you go to the ledger, as we are saying, the ledger is indicating, we see that we have got the discount here, 1,766 being there, then which means our ledger is correct. Then we go to statement. On the statement, we are seeing that it's on the we are not having it on the statement, 1,766. So we need to enter it in the reconciliation because it was omitted. In other words, it's an omission that is there on the statement. So we are saying 1,766 should be, it's a discount. So when it's a discount, it comes on the credit to reduce the amount that is on the debit that we owe Golden Globe Traders. So it's supposed to come on the credit here as a discount. So by entering on the credit, we know that it's a minus. So we're going to say minus 1,766. So we are going there. It indicates that. So we are saying we are having no effect again in the ledger, but the effect is a negative on the statement 1,766. And then we go to 4. Right, on 4, it reads invoice 105 for 3,464 was recorded incorrectly in the creditors ledger of Golden Globe Traders. The purchase was made from ABA suppliers. So this error is in the creditors ledger, was recorded incorrectly in the creditors ledger. So it means in the statement of our statement, it is correct. So we check in the statement invoice 105. Invoice 105 on the statement and try to see if it's appearing. So we are here and we are trying to check it, and then we can go to the ledger and try to see if you've got this data invoice. We are seeing that we have gotten an invoice here, which is invoice 105, which is appearing in the ledger. So this is the invoice that we are looking for, 105, which is for 3,464. So if you go through the explanation of that error, it is being said that this invoice was recorded in collecting creditors ledger. So remember, it was from another supplier, which is ABA suppliers. So it's not supposed to be there. They are not goods that we bought from Golden Globe Traders. We bought them from ABA suppliers. So they were supposed to be entered in ABA suppliers account. So we need to remove them from Golden Globe Traders account because they don't belong there. So if you come here, you'll see that we had entered them on the credit side to indicate an invoice of goods that we purchased from ABA suppliers. So we have to remove it and then we post it to ABA suppliers. But we are not having ABA suppliers in this question. So we just enter it on the debit side. It's 3,464 by just removing this that we are having here. So when we enter on the debit, remember, it's a negative in the ledger. So this error is affecting the ledger with a negative 3,464. So we come here. So we try to go down so that we correct that error. So we are here. So we are saying when the statement is correct, so we are not going to have any effect because it was not supposed to be there. So we just leave it like that. Then, but only we have to remove it from the creditors ledger by we have got a negative 3,464. So this is a negative. So when we go to the error number 5. So error number 5 reads a trade discount was deducted on invoice 284. Golden Globe Traders did not take this account into account. Golden Globe Traders will correct this error next month. So there's a trade discount which needs to be deducted on invoice 284. So we go there and try to see that trade discount on invoice 284. Which we go to the ledger where it's correct, and we see that after invoice at 284 after discount. So the figure after discount is 4,415. 4,415. And then we go and check on the statement. And this is our invoice number 284. So 284, you've got here is showing as 4,905. 4,905. So we've got 4,905. And then this one is 4,415. That is the ledger and the statement. So what we are saying is, according to the information that we are given there, is that the statement did not include the discount, but on the ledger, it's correct. The discount was affected. So the discount is the difference between the two amounts. So we need to find out the difference there by subtracting the two, and obviously the answer that we are going to get is going to be 490. So this is the discount which was not affected on the statement. So if you go to the statement, if you go to the statement there, you would see that this 490, we have to subtract it from that figure of 4,905, so that it goes back to the correct amount, which is after discount, which is 4,415. So we come in, you would see that this figure that we are having here should be reduced. With 490, the discount. So the discount should come on the credit side. So it should be here 490, that it reduces this figure. And when you go either on the credit, it's a negative. So we're going to have a negative 490 on the statement, but our So we are saying the amount that we are having there is our 490. As discount should be affected on the credit side of our statement, and it should show as a negative on the answer section, and it's not going to affect the ledger. On the ledger, we are saying there's no effect. So we come here on the answer section, and we are saying on error number 5, we are going to have a 490 on the statement, which is going to be a negative, and then there's no effect on the statement of account. When we go to information number 6, it reads invoice 302 did not appear on the statement received from Golden Globe Traders, as this transaction took place after their statement date. So we've got invoice 302, which is appearing on the ledger, but it's not there on the statement. So you need to put it on the statement. So you go to the ledger to find out the amount of that invoice 302. You see that we've got an invoice of 2,263. 2,263 rands, which we need to put on the statement. So it should come on the statement as 2,263. So it will be on the debit side, remember, 2,263. So by putting it on the debit side, remember, whenever we purchase goods from the creditor, they put it on the debit side of their statement, because they are the ones that are selling to us. So we are going to indicate it as a positive 2,263 on the statement. So we can just go to our answer section and adjust it as such. So we are here, we are saying we are having on the credit side it's a plus. Under the statement, we are going to have a plus 2,263. It is not going to affect our ledger. So we go to the last part of the question, which is information 7, which reads Golden Globe traders have correctly charged interest of 169 rands on the account. So it means this is the statement is correct. The statement is correct. There is 169 rands. Sorry, 169 rands that has been charged as interest. Obviously, this is interest on overdue account, and then the interest is going to increase the value that we are owing Golden Globe traders. So it is being said that the statement is correct, but in the ledger, it's not yet effected. So we are supposed to go to the ledger and effect it. So if you go to our statement, you'd see that we try to see the interest is indicating here. We have the interest there, so we can just maybe make it clear there. So we are having it being indicated on the debit side of the statement, showing that it has increased the value of that we are owing Golden Globe trader. So this amount is being said is not appearing in the ledger. This is our ledger. You see that 169 is not there. It should appear on the credit side, 169. And we know that when it's on the credit side, it's a plus. So we are going to indicate as such on the answer section. So we come here, and we are going to say in the ledger, we are going to have a plus 169. And then obviously there's a 0 there. Then we now make our calculations. We now make our calculations by saying 256 minus 3,464 plus 169. So it will start from our balance. Our balance is here. We are saying 28,656. We add 256. These are the final balances. So if you make the calculation again on the credit side, whereby you're saying 26,228 minus 618 minus 1,766 minus 490 plus 2,263, you are supposed to arrive at the 2,717. So at the end of reconciliation, the balance that will be having in the ledger should be the same as the balance that is should appear on the statement. So when the final balances become the same, then we have reconciled our bank reconciliation correctly. So the issue is this when at the end of a period, the closing balance of the creditor's ledger, if it's the same with the closing balance of the bank statement, there's no need for us to prepare the bank reconciliation because it indicates that there are no errors or omissions that has transpired. So this is what we've guys in our video. Let's meet again in the next video. As for this video, I'm signing out.